Hello and welcome to AOR F3 Round 2 China. So, second round in this in Season 14, back in the Sauber. Managed to get my helmet to load this time, which I didn't manage to do for SRL. Coming into this race, I was feeling confident that I knew how to drive, the lines and the points, and braking points and things. I was feeling confident in that respect, but in terms of pace again, I really don't know where I am at the moment. It's kind of up and down. Even during the race itself, it's up and down. So going in, not blind, but just going in with zero expectations again, just hoping for no damage, no penalties, and to get points. So here we go then on our first flying lap. Into turn 1 now. Little wide on entry, and then we're just out of the best rubber range, and we're a little bit wide. But bring it back for turn 2. Into this tight turn 3 now. We get the power on quite nicely and good traction coming out of there. Again, just focusing on the braking point now, 100 metre board for this next shaft right. Quite a tight hairpin actually. Hit the apex up quite late. Good traction and grip mid corner there. Fast left right now. Double turn in for the fast left. Bit hesitant, and then the right there we just got a little kick of oversteer and the car just felt a bit unsettled, so kind of don't know where I am at the moment. This lap is a bit of a wasted effort, but there are bits like the exit there that were really good, so the confidence is building. Coming into this very tight exit now, opening up the steering, really just firing onto the back straight, but a bit of understeer there mid corner, noticing that quite a lot. Just flat out now down to the hairpin. But the car felt alright, the weather was dry for qualifying and the race. So, I mean, it's no big deal, I practiced for the wet anyway. Really clipped that curve nicely, could have gone even tighter if possible. So, got to exit off the hairpin. Into the last corner now, trying not to cut it, braked a little bit early, then hesitant again, and then went over the curb. And that's a 33.2, and that's not brilliant because I think the PB's around 32.2. So, and then we went for another lap, and lap. Obviously in turn 1, so I thought, right, okay, call it quits. We've got another set of tyres anyway. Coming back out now onto the next set of tyres. Trying to set myself up back into max fuel mixture, and we're really just gonna not balls to the wall because of course you want to, I can see I'm only just in the top 10, so I want to make sure I qualify high. But we're going to try and do our best here. Good exit off the last corner. You can see we're already up. Into turn 1 now, try and balance the car. It's absolutely on a knife edge. Big kick of oversteer, big loss of time there, about half a tenth we lost compared to our previous lap, which was poor anyway. So it's a good tenth and a half in this first sector, and a big kick of oversteer on the exit as well. That was just so poor. I mean, we lost 2 or 3 tenths in that first sequence corner. So we're on the back foot now into the tight hairpin. We turned in a little bit early, but we've actually got great turning and drive off the corner. You can see the qualifying track evolution working well. Good turn in now for this fast left-hander coming into the right. Should really have braked a bit later there and dragged into the curb. Just a bit of nerves really. But we picked up, 1.5 tenths. We should really, in essence, if it's a PB, be about half a second up by now, but we just haven't managed to string the lap together. A little bit early on the brakes there, a little bit slow here, but we do get good traction there. But there's that little, I'm just off the camber, look, I'm just away from the main racing line, and that's cost us time coming down the straight. We're only 2 tenths up, so essentially we're half a second down on our PV after 2 sectors. It's not very good, or more than half a second, sorry. Into the hairpin now, just kept it in second this time. Good traction, not quite as good as it was before. As you can see, the delta's going down. Picked up a couple of tenths. Last corner I should have braked a lot later and harder, not being so hesitant because I dropped a tenth there. So 32.8. It's okay. I mean, it's all right. And I was a bit surprised actually to get P3, considering there's more pace there. But of course, it's just stringing that lap together, which is oh so hard without the line and with the inexperience on the game as well. But as far as that goes, I was quite happy. So starting up the front then, 5 red lights, lights out, away we go. We get a good start, good reaction as well. We've beaten pretty much everyone off the line there. Around the outside now, I haven't really got anywhere else to go, 007 brakes quite late. He leaves me space, which is very kind of him. He could have easily just pushed me right off the track, but he loses the rear. I think he must have downshifted and lost the car. I've had to brake and sort of back out of it, which means I've lost the position to Mercedes. Mercedes has gone past me. I've got to warn him for collision with him. Mercedes has gone around me there, so we've lost the position, unfortunately, when really we had more pace than everyone in turn one. We just boxed in on the wrong line and just went wrong, but these things happen. Mercedes almost clips 007 there. Now again it's, oh okay, lost the position, sucks a bit, but you know, we haven't got any damage, things have gone cleanly. We'll see how the race unfolds. Mercedes is a little slow there, just have to check up a little bit. But still, you know, lap one, long race to go, a little bit pinched on the apex there, just a poor line from me. Just looking to stick with them now and wait for the, you know, the DRS and things to just take effect and see where we stand as the pace builds. Mercedes takes a nice wide line. He's obviously looking for an exit here, but he actually catches the dirty air of 007, ends up on the curb. You saw the sparks there, so he's a bit slow off the corner. This is slipstream. You can see the slipstream working here. Obviously he's a bit slow off the corner as well. That's what slipstream looks like. Now later in the race, unfortunately, it looks like one of the glitches from 2016 remains, and I lose slipstream. I've actually got the DRS of someone as well. I'm running the lowest wings of the field, and yet I couldn't pass him, so we'll see later on. So you just log that there. That's me running with slipstream. We'll see later on when that's gone. Parker Drive sets the fastest lap. He's taking the lead from 007. Even though we got a better start, he's managed to just take that inside line at turn one and sneak past both of us. You know, fair play. You can see we caught up a little bit there, and then this concertina effect of the snail section, but again, we're close enough to be affected by the dirty air, I understand that, but we're just waiting. I don't think they're going to battle too hard, and even if they do, you know what I mean, I'm just not thinking about that. I'm just thinking, look, just hit the apexes, see how the race goes. No pressure at all. You see there are two people in the pits already, so there's been a couple of incidents on lap one. The car feels alright at the moment, you know, the tyre wear is okay, and just, you can see I'm a little tight there on the line into that right, and here on into the left as well. So we're just still finding our feet at the moment, in terms of how the car is feeling on heavy fuel. As you can see, they've pulled away. I think they're running a little more downforce than me, because they seem to be a lot faster during this middle sector. Short shifting then into fifth, and controlling the wheel spin. I found that quite important here with the modulating the throttle, and the strategy I was going for was a one stop, and you can see the tyre wear there is actually quite good. We're just being quite easy on ourselves and on the car at the moment. Nice gap to Mercedes behind, and hoping to go for mediums on lap 9 or 10, hopefully 10, but we'll see how the tyre wear progresses and what happens during the stint as to, you know, what we can do at that stage. I am wary that there are people like Crazy Legs starting a bit lower down with new harder tyres, so, but we are the fastest man on the circuit at the moment, so things are looking alright. Moving on to lap 3 now, towards the end of lap 3. Again, the gap rate really hasn't changed that much. I've managed to stick with the guys. 007 has, I think he might have downshifted too many times or something. He's got a bit of oversteer on the entry, and then he's got oversteer on the exit as well. So he's really, obviously the tyres are, they're not that worn at this point, but they're past their best. But you can see I've picked up a little bit of dirty air there and had to lift off on the exit. So we've got the DRS open now. You can see we're closing very slightly. Again, there's not really much slipstream from this far back. And we've almost hit him. Oh my gosh. Just caught out a little bit there. Obviously, I had a bit of overspeed with the DRS and just didn't account for it. So that's one of the things, you know, I need to look out for in the future. Middle of lap 4 now, you see 007's wide again. And of course, that means he's offline. And I've kind of followed him a little bit and put one wheel on the curb, which is silly of me. But he's gone wide and scraped the car over the rumble strips. That can unsettle it a little bit. So I know, like, he's not vulnerable as such, but he's pushing hard, so he's possibly going to make a mistake, and he has. He's put one wheel over the curb, and that's an absolute nightmare for him. There's the dirty air. See the car just wash out wide as we came up behind him. So now we've got rich mix, DRS, slipstream, we're just not closing, and it's gone. You can see the pace is exactly the same, because he's got DRS open and I got DRS open. So with us both running DRS and me not closing at all, and me running really low wings, I can say that there's no slipstream there. The slipstream's weak anyway, but I think that glitch still remains, unfortunately. So DRS again, there's no slipstream here. absolutely none at all, just the DRS open. As you can see, we're not closing. Had to brake a little bit early, and I think Mercedes has just been caught out by that, just because I didn't want to overspeed into turn 1 and then run wide. In the dirty air of 007, we'd have been right in his arse, so I didn't bother. Lap 5 now, he's a little wide of the apex there, but maybe that's just his line, and he's clipped the curve, that's cool. A little bit of oversteer for him though, and he's had to correct twice. You can see the car is sideways, that's not lag, that is him holding a slide, which is incredible skill.
Come on.
So you can see here that I'm sort of,
no,
I know
gone.
it moves on, but there we go, the
slipstream's
slipstream's gone. Unfortunately, that I'm realising that at the last moment. Look, the inside thought better of it, but on the exit here, he just touches the wheel on the curb, but I thought he was going to spin, and I just lifted off out of it, and that's let Hybrid Nuke close up a little bit, but that means we dropped a lot of time as well, unfortunately. But I can never be too careful. Coming to the end of lap 6, with the third sector of lap 6, and he's taking a different line again. I guess he's just sort of working out where his tyres are, but we're a little shallow, he's a little high, so it kind of evens out. We have had a good exit though, we should get DRS here, yep, exactly. And again, you can see here that he hasn't got DRS and we're barely closing, so there's no slipstream and DRS is just really poor, which is completely inaccurate, what a surprise. But at this moment he just spins up the tyres and that's it. Easy mistake to make, you know, I'll probably make one or two as you'll see later on. But that was, you could call that lucky, but I feel that I stayed with him for long enough to possibly force the error, but again I feel that I'm lucky to, you know, benefit from that. Gap on the previous lap to Parkway Drive was 3 seconds, on this lap is 1.4. We are flying and we're not even setting PBs. Whether he's just saving his tyres or something I don't know, but you can see how much we're closing up. We're pushing hard now. I know that the tyre window's coming soon and he pits, and I know I've got at least a lap, if not 2 laps left in these tyres. So it's Hybrid Nuke behind me. What I do find when you push these tyres over about 60%, they sort of just turn into gum. Unlike on 2016 when you could push past 75 quite easily. So I was a bit tentative coming on to the next lap, the end of lap 9, whether to go again. I chose against it, but I think in hindsight it was a good strategy call because I was protecting from people who were running slightly longer and then protecting from the undercut as well. But again, looking back at it, I could have gone another lap and come out in an okay place. But I just wasn't to know where I was going to feed out, so I just thought I'd play it safe. Trying to get a good exit from the pit box now, and that was literally perfect. So 2.651 stop, really good stop. And we've come out just behind Parkway Drive, so he's pulled out a little bit of a gap. Understandable with his undercut, but of course we'll have fresher tyres towards the end of the race. And thinking back, you know, if we think back, if I'd gone another lap, I'd have 2 laps fresher tyres at the end of the race, and I wouldn't be so close. So perhaps I could have had less dirty air and then being able to sort of chill on my own a little bit more. But then again, you run the risk of, when you do that, you run the risk of spinning on your in lap because the tyres are so short. So at this stage of the game, it just isn't worth it. Anyway, cutting on to lap 14, end of lap 14, start of lap 15. The guys in front have got past the Iceman, who's on a different strategy, and I'm just hounding him now. I'm kind of desperate to get past myself. Big kick of oversteer there as we went down a gear too late. Went down an extra gear too early, and that locks up the rears on this game. So big error from me there. That's just again inexperience. So with Iceman now, I've sort of succumbed. I've just thought, like, okay, in the middle sector it's really not on. So especially with my low wings, so I just thought, like, just wait. And as you can see, I'm kind of trying to take different lines to try and get out of the dirty air, but it's not really big wash there from the front end. I'm just trying to do my best to not lose as much time as possible to the leaders, but we can see Parkway Drive is out of sight now, so a bit difficult, and Crazy Legs is catching up as well on his alternate strategy. Bit of a cut there, but Iceman's gone wide. I was conscious of him possibly spinning back onto the track, so I was a bit wary, but he's that oversteer mid-corner, and we've just made the move, so credit to him for not coming back across. Good spatial awareness, he managed to save the car, which is obviously good skill, and then he saw me coming and thought, look, it's not worth it. He's already halfway up the inside, which is, you know, I'm grateful for. So the objective is now to get back in touch with Parkway Drive and just to try and make something of a race, because I'm enjoying the race so far. But unfortunately, soon things start sort of falling apart a little bit. But yeah, gap to Parkway Drive is 2.6 seconds. End of lap 21. The gap is 2.4. We're setting a PB in the middle sector, so what we've been 10, 11 laps on these tyres now, and we're setting PBs in the middle sector. But at this point, I'm starting to get quite flustered and a bit...
There's something wrong here. I can see my pulse in my eyes. What the fuck?
There we go. So here we go. This is where I'm trying to push really hard, and I overdrove. I've been to see medics about this, and it's a case where I was triggering a response, pumping adrenaline into my body, and then I wasn't doing anything with it. I was just sort of sitting here, just still playing. So I had to focus, and it just pushed my blood pressure so high that I could end up seeing it. So it was really, really off-putting, and
Good lap, good lap. Here we go.
Here we go. I'm trying to remotivate myself and say, chill out, you're doing all right. But again, I just couldn't really see what I was doing, unfortunately, because things were going a bit hazy as well. It was affecting my vision, because it was just sort of this overload of stuff just being pumped into my system by my system, and I just couldn't control myself. But then lost the rear.
No! What the fuck?
And turned into a 12-year-old girl at the same time. I was really gutted, because obviously we were in P2, we were doing really well, and I just pushed that bit too hard. I lost my cool.
There's something wrong with my eyes. I can't fucking see properly. What the fuck?
So you can see I'm getting rattled by it now as well, because I can't really
fucking see properly.
At this point, I'm kind of considering retiring, and I thought, look, just keep going. It can't be that bad, because you're still breathing. End of lap 23 now. We've pulled back up to 007. We've had a bit of a mare of a race, and big kick of oversteer there. I'm really struggling at the moment, because everything's bouncing at me. I can't see properly.
This is fucking dangerous. I can't fucking see. Don't go down the inside.
Mercedes he's looking at it. You don't think he did put his nose down the inside, but he almost did, and he's on the super soft. So. But at this point, I'm really sort of just losing my head.
Why are you diving on the inside there? What the fuck?
Yeah, as you can see, I'm really rattled by it, because I can't really see properly. I can't really understand what's going on.
Look at that lag. Look at the lag.
So you can see his car moving around a bit. It's not him, it's the game. So again, that's quite off-putting. I didn't really go for the move here. I just tried to move out of the way, and then sort of outbrake myself with the slipstream. But things were bouncing at me at around 70, 80 beats per minute. I had the adrenaline pumping. I couldn't, so that my eyes just on the corners of them were kind of hazy.
Oh, it's past. I can fucking see again.
And at this point, Mercedes distracted me so much so that it actually passed. I was able to sort of ease back into some sort of normal rhythm, and but unfortunately, it's a couple of laps too late, and I've dropped 5 positions. So it wasn't that nice, but I have had it seen to, and it just. Again, I'll talk about that towards the end, but it's passed. At this point, it's passed, and I'm back to normal. As you can see, Mercedes has gone down the inside of 007 Professional, and he's off now. He's made the move on lap 24.
I can't see.
But at this point, it's come back. So again, I'm pushing, thinking, oh, I'm going to catch him up, really try hard. And then it's back. It's coming back again, because I'm pumping myself up and getting worked up over it again. So it's quite a strange dynamic the way it's working. Obviously, after the race, I had the benefit of seeing what's going on. Big kick of oversteer there in the dirty air. That's quite realistic. I got close to him, dirty air, and then I lost the downforce. But he's had a poor exit here, and I've just had a kick of oversteer there. Almost lost the car, but he's had a better run there. But at this point, I know he's holding me up, and I'm keen to make up.
Oh, that's a nice pull in front of me, block, and then pull in front of me. What the hell are you doing?
I'm looking at this now. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. I was just like, in the race, I was so like, my head was gone. So my head's gone, but I'm still trying to race as hard as I can. 007's gone wide there, so we've gone for the cutback, gone straight back up the inside, trying to make the move that TRL Martin did, and I've just gone a little bit wide there. Lost the car completely, and unfortunately 007 didn't see it come in, and I've just gone back on track. And then he's weaved. I think he's weaved there to say, look, mate.
Yeah, I lost the car, mate. You don't need to fucking weave.
So you can hear that I'm kind of short-fused right now. But I'm not a dirty driver at all. But this is quite strange. Into a right up his ass, and he's bouncing back towards us twice.
What on earth is going on with the lag?
Now, for him to have done that, he would have had to brake mid-corner, which there's no way he did. So you can see the car's moving about all the time, and it's not him, it's the game, it's not him. And it's a real shame. At this point, I didn't want to go down the inside, but he braked quite early, so...
okay, just leave me no space at all then, pal.
There wasn't a lot of space left there, unfortunately.
And again, are you alright?
There's a lot of movement going on with the cars, which is strange, and then
Oh, my
unfortunately we
days.
just misjudged that and knocked our wing. That was one of my objectives, was to not knock the wing, and we've done that now, so it's kind of all falling apart. Braked early for turn 1, 007's just had a bit of oversteer, I think, or understeer, either way. Either way, he's gone wide, and we've managed to make the move, so up to P6.
Turn
now.
in, you can't.
I'm not happy with the wing damage. Nothing really happened then. Ace Hasnain was catching up. He didn't quite catch me all the way, but this didn't very much please me.
Way!
Just because I knew I could have battled him for the win, and I bottled it myself, and it's a real shame.
Good win, mate!
I don't know where any of it's coming from. It's just like, wow.
What a fucking battle job!
Not happy at all.
Fuck off!
There we go. Just sigh of relief, like, oh man, that was rage that I've not seen in a while.
Eyes. I just couldn't see anything. Vision was all fucking blurry. What the fuck? I can't believe I couldn't see for most of that race. What the fuck was going on?
The podium celebrations, and it's going to be Haas picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for coming out on top.
Yep.
Amazing draw.
Yep, cheers.
All this noise and venting and voices. I'm so angry with myself at this point that, you know, and really just sort of angry at everyone else as well, and yet they've done nothing wrong. It's just dropping the ball and feel like I made a fool of myself, you know. So don't enjoy doing that.
Well, that's excellent, isn't it? Threw away a P2 because I'm a fucking drip. Well, no, actually, because I can fucking see.
Yeah, so as you can see, at the end of the race, the issue was that I couldn't really see properly during the race because my adrenaline was so high and my anxiety was so high during the race that my vision was all blurry and I could see my pulse in my eyes. I went and got it checked out, and it's just that. It's just me putting too much pressure on myself and trying too hard during the race. I also practiced for a few hours before, so it's a bit of eye strain there as well. So I need to take some time away from the console before the race. Just sort of drive like I did in Australia, really enjoy what I'm doing and not get so tunnel visioned and fixated on doing so well. I can't believe that.
I can't fucking believe it!
Ah, fucking joke.
What a joke!
There we go. So as you can see, I'm still angry at myself even at this point. But now I'm all chilled out, and I can say that, you know, none of what was said in this video was intended to give anyone any abuse or harm or anything. You know, no one did put a foot wrong that race. So I really enjoyed the race looking back on it, and I hope that there are more races that are as intense as that. But I hope I don't get sucked in and drop the ball again. Thanks for watching.